Hello and welcome to Big Brother's Moose in the Hoose. I'm Lindsay.
This is James.
And you can check out my blog at Exertainment, and you can follow me on Twitter at LightUpVM, because I realise I've not been saying that lately and someone might care, mightn't they?
They might do, you never know.
They might not. Anyway, we're going to talk about the past 2 episodes, Peter's eviction and Gary coming back into the house. Hoose, aren't we?
Yes.
First thing I want to discuss is a very important matter. What's her name?
Arisa Cox.
Arisa Cox's canary yellow jacket. Ankle swinger trousers made out of a curtain.
Wasn't it zebra print or something?
No, it was like floral, and then she had pink high heels on. What is she thinking?
Oh, who knows?
She looks crazy. She looks like a mad person.
She's got a crazy wardrobe department, that's for sure.
It's not just her though. Gary looks like he's dressed out the Lost Property box as well. What he was wearing on that last episode, like an orange woolen jumper over a black and white striped shirt.
Really, the best dressed in the house was Tom in his black underpants. That was that was the sartorial highlight.
I'm not sure about that. But anyway, sort out the wardrobe department, please. But it's all over in a week, so it don't really matter.
I know. It's got shot by, hasn't it?
Go wild. I know. I've been really enjoying it, I must admit. Anyway, I thought Arisa needs to go see Julie Chen start. No, actually, she doesn't. So
they got a really good fashion district in that Toronto as well. It's not like you can't find good stuff there.
No, that's true.
You know what it is? She's ordering it all off that website.
Oh, no, that's it's only furnishings, isn't it?
What, the brick?
Yeah.
Or there's some other thing they're plugging. I don't know.
Oh, that's like hardware.
Yeah. She had to buy it with vouchers.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
On with the show. So where we left off was Peter fighting for his life.
Oh yeah.
He did quite a good job of fighting.
Did he?
Well,
obviously not.
He sat with Tyler by that pool and was like, "Hey, come on, I want to help you now. How are you going to win this game?" And she was just like, "Oh." And then she's like, "I don't think Peter's really trying to help me." He wasn't. He was just trying to get her to condemn Gillian.
Yeah.
But he did get her to do that.
Yeah, he did. But let's face it, Peter's gameplay was shit.
Oh, Peter.
He was crap. The only thing Peter had was, "Hey, Peter." That's all we had. And his eating disorder. And his shouting in the diary room.
Who's paler out of Peter, Emmett, or
a pint of milk?
Andrew. They're all like the most whitest white boys I've ever seen.
Well, I suppose it's,
Peter is the palest, I think.
Yeah.
Don't you?
It is winter though, isn't it?
Isn't it always winter over there?
No, they got a hot summer.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
What are they doing in the winter? Oh, so it's not
it doesn't
to clash.
Yeah.
That's considerate of them.
It is considerate.
Well, they're probably told to.
Not so considerate of BBCan not to move their schedule.
As if. And then Emmett was going to Peter, "Oh, this, that and the other," and then Peter was like, "Oh, but she promised me final 3," as if Gillian's word is worth fucking the paper it's written on.
Oh, God knows.
Do you know what I mean? But I think Emmett wanted to keep Peter, but he couldn't.
You think so? He was the Quattro.
Cock blocked once again.
He was part of the Quattro thing.
Quattro. So Peter, as we said a couple of weeks ago, you should have saved Topaz. Then you would have had your own ally. Emmett and Gillian would have had theirs, and Andrew and Tyler would have had theirs.
And you wouldn't be sat in jury.
Yes. And when...
imagine how pissed they must have been when Gary went back in.
You can't start talking about that now. Later.
Oh, come
Laters. So Peter... Oh, I also want to call Peter out on his smashing up of those puzzles. He smashed up that toothbrush, as you say.
Yeah.
And he also smashed up that one that's, where you move the little tiles around. He smashed that one up as well.
What, in a temper tantrum?
Yeah, that's a bit unsporting, isn't it?
Well, little baby, isn't he?
Yeah, Peter.
If he can't get what he wants for his dinner, then he gets all upset and throws his bib out.
"Hey, Peter, do you want some chicken nuggets?"
No. He wants some cheese and tomato pizza, but it has to be sliced 4 centimetres by 8 centimetres.
Bless him. But anyway, when he went out, Arisa said he did a poem. I think something else. When he sat on the stairs and quoted something. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, dear listeners. I think it's Radiohead lyrics. We haven't bothered to Google it because I prefer it when people correct me. What did you think?
I wasn't sure, but there was definitely some weird shit going on
It was
there.
like Disappear Here. I think that's like a Radiohead song or album or something.
Oh, really? How awful.
I know. Well, he was just trying to be like, not profound, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
any actual like that I might have had for him up until that point, which wasn't really that much, would have completely evaporated if I'd known he was quoting Radiohead.
But wasn't it funny, like, the way he went out and then he was like doing all Shield and then he was like G and all the crowd like going whoop whoop whoop. Arissa totally like had no control of anyone that night. Like she had no control of Peter, she had no control of the returning housemates.
I've got to say,
no control of her wardrobe.
Our hosts in the UK, I think definitely Davina, certainly Brian, they would have took control of that situation a lot better.
Yeah, she was a bit like, oh, settle down, but she needs to get a handle on it.
Yeah, you see, we have a very unruly crowd in our UK show.
Sure do.
But, well, definitely on BBUSA, and from what we've seen of Canada, they're pretty, you know...
Yeah, you've seen those London riots, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of worse than that.
So then I thought Peter looked proper gutted when he went out. No,
I didn't. I think he looked resigned to it.
No, he didn't. He was really upset. He was the most upset I've ever seen anyone get evicted. Not
the most you've ever seen anyone in your whole life.
No. But she was like, oh, what was the one thing you did wrong? And he was just like, everything. I must have done everything wrong to be here and all this sort of thing.
He did do everything wrong.
Yeah, you did. You should have saved Topaz. Shouldn't have evicted AJ. Shouldn't have teamed up with Alec.
Shouldn't have kept doing all the hand symbols.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have shouted so much in the diary room either.
Then he was going, oh, I still believe in the Shield. It's like,
well,
why?
Come on.
It's like believing in fairies or something.
You always have that shield.
It's stupid. Peter and Gary, never the twain did meet, did it?
Peter and Gary.
Yeah, Peter was gone. But he never saw Gary, sort of thing.
Yeah, who knows how that could have panned out.
Yeah, I was sad to see Peter go though.
I was, well, but you know, he didn't deserve to be there, so.
Oh, he did. I like him.
He couldn't do any competitions. He couldn't do anything.
No, just pretending to, just throwing it.
Yeah, and claiming it was a master plan afterwards.
Oops. Anyway, then we saw our very first glimpse of Jury House.
Finally.
Woo! So in Jury House was AJ wearing one of those sleeveless purple hoodies that he seems to be very fond of.
Yeah.
What do you think about those?
Not really thought about it too
much. Next we had Gary.
Yeah.
Obviously good. Then we had Alec.
You could tell it was Gary because of his shoes. They were had a Cuban heel on or something.
And then you could tell it was Alec because of his shoes because he had his Dayglow shoes on. And then it was Topaz come in and she started mouthing off.
I think she had some quite nice Converse on, Topaz. I could be mistaken, but
I was a bit like disappointed. Like when I know we're jumping forward a bit when they were like, "Oh, have you guys been getting it on?" And Gary was like, "Oh yeah, Topaz hasn't been sleeping in her room.
Yeah,
she's been like." Banging that Alec, and he's such a dick. Like, Topaz, rise above it. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what though? I reckon they probably are. No, he didn't say they were banging. They could still be having the cuddle mance. It could just still be a bit of spooning. No, he said it was
a jury mance. That's not very romantic, is it?
Not really. It's better than a defendant mance, though, isn't it?
Fucking STD mance. I know that's Tom. I've been watching the Old Life feed, and he said, sorry.
You had to explain that.
He said condoms were for condoms were for pussies. I never wear condoms. Riddled.
Who knows where he's slinging it? Fuck me.
That's nothing to be proud of. I never wear condoms. Ugh, you're a disgusting pig. And as for Liza, ugh, both of you make my skin crawl.
He didn't even say the rubber allergy. Just said.
No, he said condoms are for pussies. No, condoms are for cocks. So you should put one on.
You think that's what he means? He uses a femidom.
I doubt if he even knows what that is. I doubt if he could even. I
think he just struggles to use it. That's for sure.
Thicko. You know what Dan Savage says? Trash can liner for the fanny. That's what he says they are.
He says fanny?
No. That's bum, isn't it? Is that the same in Canada? Do they have fanny packs and all that?
You have a fanny pack, but I think it means you're bum. I don't know.
Yeah, in America, but what about in Canada?
Oh.
Come on, Canadians. Tell us what's what.
I think, is it your hiney?
That ain't right.
Let's just say front bottom. That's easier.
So anyway, Gary said he was relaxing in Jury House. So basically, they brought them all back out, all the housemates, and then Arisa said, basically, the public's been voting on who's going to go back in, and by no means a landslide.
And despite top pundits saying that AJ was the firm favourite, Arisa Cox said with a 5%... What did you say about the 5% margin?
She said there's only 5% in it. Yeah, the other housemates all got a 5% and Gary got 95%. As if there's only 5% in it between Gary and who? Who? Bullshit. I want to see those statistics. I want to see those figures. Get the independent adjudicator out. Get fucking...
they don't need to because it's free, isn't it? So they're not under the cost to
make it up as they wish. Fair enough. Anyway, it was the right result. Gary went back in. Now, do you think it's fair that Gary is still eligible to win the game?
Well, I think it's fair for him to go in. I think that, obviously the main thing of Big Brother is anything can happen at any fucking time. It doesn't matter.
That's a convenient rule, isn't it?
But
we should have that rule in our relationship.
What is unfair? What is unfair is that he's been sat in that jury chatting to them, working out what's what. And not only that, going in and spreading it around. They should at least say, look, you're not allowed to talk about jury. You're not allowed to talk about so-and-so. They're giving him a massive, or so it seems, advantage.
Well, look, in the Big Brother UK a few years ago, they put someone back in for the first time. It was Nikki Graham. I'm so cold. And that was like considered the moment that Big Brother UK jumped the shark. I know you don't know what that means, but you do now, don't you?
They went down the toilet.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't agree with that though.
But
that's only because we're charging 25p, 50p a phone call, and the people that spent that money on that were pissed because they felt like they had that was the excuse for that backlash.
That was the excuse, but here's the difference: Nikki was never eligible to win. She just went back in just to stir shit up.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Gary is eligible. Or was she? No, I don't think she was. Oh fuck, I can't remember. I don't think she was. But Gary
You'd be no good in those HOH competitions.
No,
you need to know
that memory wall. I'd be fucked.
Yeah. Well, that memory key card now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like something out of Tron. Anyway. The difference is, I think it is a bit nuts putting Gary back in, but who cares because it's Gary. It's amazing. Can you imagine how boring that house would be without Gary in it?
It has been boring since he was gone anyway.
Andrew, Tyler, Emmett and Gillian getting off of each other. Could you think of anything duller?
No. But anyway, let's talk about some proper stuff. What about that conversation between Emmett and Gary, where Gary was based... What, am I jumping to...
Yeah, it's alright, go on, let's do it. Let's go off-road.
This is the good stuff.
Where in the car, whatever the car is.
Gary starts saying to Emmett about... He didn't say we're going to have to get rid of her, but basically...
Yeah, he said, that bitch is going to leave.
And Emmett, this is very, very telling... Emmett, rather than saying, oh, don't say that about Gillian, blah, 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 he was just like, shut up, shut the fuck up.
She's in the toilet.
Yeah.
Do you think she's got those headphones on?
And she did have those headphones on, so she couldn't.
Yeah, we didn't know. She could have had them off.
It could be editing.
I turn my headphones down when people are talking at work.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, listening to what people are saying.
Yeah, but she had the wraparound ones, like the Dr. Dre ones.
Yeah, no, they were more like kind of like work ones.
Like the Celine Dion range.
But did you notice... Also, at the start of that conversation, when Gillian was still there, Gary was like, yeah, I was in an alliance with you motherfuckers long time ago. The way he talks to people is
a rude ass person.
It's funny though. But if you think about it, if you just pontificate on... See, it's quite funny because Gary's like spreading all this shit around saying like basically the jury house thinks the exact opposite of what they do think. So basically he told Gillian everyone respects her in there. She's got to be born yesterday to believe that. I don't believe she really believes that, do you?
Do you know one thing that occurred to me is that Gary, if he does get final two, if that's possible, I think, don't you think jurors will hold it against him that he went in the second time and had that unfair advantage?
No, because if you think he's on the jury, it's Alec, Topaz, Peter, and AJ, who don't count. If you think about it...
They all hate Andrew.
Exactly, they all hate Andrew.
They all hate Gillian. But Emmett...
They like Emmett.
Yeah.
Now, Tyler, I reckon they might give it to her just for, fuckeries.
Yeah, over Gillian, maybe. Gillian.
I think they might give it to Gary just for the devilment. I could see the Shield teaming up with Topaz and just fucking them over. I think whatever happens, Andrew and Gillian can't win now. Don't you?
Yeah, I hope not.
But personally, if I was on the jury and it was Gillian and Tyler at the end, for example, I'd give it to Gillian because she has.
You'd have to. You'd have no choice.
Exactly. She has won 3 HOHs, but I wouldn't give nothing to Andrew because he's such an entitled bastard. He thinks he's entitled to everything. You're not entitled to anything, Andrew.